51, not 6, 51 worldwide games. It features many tabletop games across the history of mankind. Back to when men were first cavemen playing chess with stones. I actually don't think that happened, but in my head, it feels like it did. So there are plenty of games on this actual game, 51 worldwide games that you would recognize, but there's many games that you won't recognize. Things like Shogi, Renegade. I actually don't know what Renegade is. Backgammon. I've never even played backgammon before. There's different games from different types of cultures across the world too, which I think makes this game really interesting. Games like Mancala, which you probably would never have heard of, especially in South Africa where I'm from. I'm like, what the hell's Mancala? And I'm super addicted to that game. Like, it's so simple, it's so fun. It's like, why is this game actually like so fun to play? Like, I'm actually enjoying this. Playing in a multiplayer is crazy too. The game has a multiplayer feature where you can compete against other people from around the world in pretty much almost all of these games, which makes them quite cool to play games against other people in multiplayer in real time in things that you probably would never have people to play with. In like, I mean, would you have ever imagined playing the game Ludo multiplayer online with people in this day and age? Probably not. That's like an old age board game that you would have to get the actual tabletop board game to play with people. But now you can play these tabletop games with pretty much everyone in the world, or single player against 4 different types of difficulties. The last one being a impossible difficulty, which is not really impossible, it's just a little harder to beat. And once you have beaten that difficulty, it gives you like a champion cup on your actual game like icon there. It goes like champion cup and you're like, yeah! And basically you have mastered the game. What I want to do is a tutorial series on mastering each and every game that's like worth mastering, because some of the games are like entirely luck based, so you can't really like, okay, cool guys, tutorial of this game, be super lucky. I'm gonna cover the ones that really require like a strategy to like master the game. Some of them are really hard, like chess can be really difficult to master, drafts as well. Even games as simple as 4 in a row can be quite tricky, but I've made it my personal goal to get that champion cup on every single game that can have a champion cup. I'm not sure how many of them can actually have a champion cup. Some of them you actually don't really have a ranking because you can't play against AI because it just doesn't allow you to. And the games that do let you have the champion cup, oh boy, I'm going to get the champion cup on every single game that I can get the champion cup on. I'm going to master every single game here. Some of them I have to learn first because I have to learn a whole entire game and then beat it in impossible difficulty. And I'm going to try teach you guys to do it too if you are interested. So some of my favorite tabletop games from here have actually been Mancala, which is a very interesting like stone game where you have to have like 6 different like holes and then like a major point hole. It's like really hard to explain. I'll explain it in a video. But basically you pick up the stones and you have to like drop them one by one until you have more stones in your side than your opponent has in theirs. It's quite tricky, but it's really fun. I don't know. I really like it. Another one that I like is 4 in a row, even though like I lose all the time because of like, I set up this perfect thing. I'm like, I'm going to win on the next one. And then my opponent goes boop and they win. And I'm like, I was just about to win, dude. I was just about to win. And he took it from me. But it's moments like that you go, damn, he outplayed me. Or the moments like where I play chess in multiplayer against someone and I do something, I'm like, I don't know what I did, but I just checkmated this dude in the best possible way. And I was like, whoa, dude, that was crazy. One of my favorite games to actually learn on here is called Hit and Blow. This is a weird game where you have to guess the order of these like little colored bobs. Like there's 4 in a row, like red, blue, green, yellow. And what you have to do is guess that exact order, and you get like 8 turns to do it. It's pretty tricky at first, but once you learn it and once you nail it, you go like, yeah, ugh, freaking cool. I'm like a detective. And I really like that about that game. It's super fun. And there's also games that you wouldn't expect to be on here, like toy curling. I didn't even know this thing existed. Basically, what you have to do is like shoot this thing and let it stay in the center of the little map. Like as long as your like little like curl is in the center of the map, by the end of like your 8 turns, you basically win. And you got to make sure your opponent doesn't get it in there too. So like there's also a lot of competitiveness around most of these games, obviously. There's also bowling. Bowling, darts, things that like fishing. There's fishing. There's fishing in this game. Fishing, like what? There's fishing? Like why is fishing a game? That's super interesting and weird. One of the fun ones that we had when you play on actual handheld mode, me and my fiance, we basically played air hockey, and you basically control like the one side with your finger and she controls the other side with her finger, and we like play freaking air hockey, the same thing we did on our first date, and now we're playing it on the Nintendo Switch, which was quite fun too, especially since I kicked her ass as usual. But yeah, if you are interested, please stay tuned to some of the tutorials I'll be doing if you do have the game yourself. If you don't have it, I would really recommend getting it if you're interested in any of the games here. This was actually something I really went out of my way to get for myself, and I was like, I can actually do some videos on this too. Like, I'm passionate about this game. I'm having fun with it. Let me bring it into my YouTube life and make some videos on it and make just a series on how to master each game. I think that will be fun. Like, I'll get to talk about how I mastered each game and like what strategies to use, and it can be fun. And you guys can chat to me in the comments below about those games and like different techniques and strategies, or even we can meet up to do multiplayer battles. I think you can do that. We need to try that. I'm pretty sure you can play against friends on the Nintendo Switch. So if you do have this game, let me know in the comments below and add me as a friend on Nintendo Switch so we can jam some 51 worldwide games, at least the ones I'm good at. And I'll see you guys in a future video. Thank you for watching.